So yesterday, Chennedy Carter and Angel Reese talked to the media addressing Saturday's game versus the Indiana Fever. As we know, in Saturday's post-game press conference, Chennedy decided not to answer any questions regarding Caitlin Clark, and Angel actually missed the post-game conference, which resulted in a fine from the W. The play that everyone is talking about when Chennedy Carter hip-checked Caitlin Clark during the inbound. Now, the officials called it a common foul during the game. They later upgraded it to a flagrant foul after the game, and I think they dropped the ball right there. It should have been called a flagrant during the game. But I do think some of the conversations regarding the WNBA and regarding Caitlin Clark are getting out of hand. Chennedy said that Caitlin Clark hit her in the face a possession or two prior to that incident and she retaliated. But this is nothing new. We've seen this happen in basketball before. Do I think some players resent Caitlin Clark? Absolutely. Do I think some players are frustrated that the media is giving her all of this attention? Absolutely. But did we not expect that? We're talking about Caitlin Clark, who I think is a phenomenal basketball player, one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. And I think she's going to have a bright WNBA future. So that means she's going to have a target on her chest every time she steps on that court. Diana Taurasi warned us, if I'm not mistaken, during the NCAA tournament. The WNBA is far more physical than women's college basketball. I'm sure that most #1 overall picks with a lot of hype surrounding them coming out of college experience some type of on-court rookie hazing. You know, those welcome to the WNBA moments throughout their rookie season. I think that's just the nature of competitors across all sports, not just the WNBA. Yes, we saw Stewie set a tough screen on Caitlin. We saw Caitlin take a couple of hard fouls against the Storm. We saw Dejanay Carrington hyped up to guard her. But a player of her stature, that is part of the game. We saw Alyssa Thomas clothesline Angel Reese. We saw Jonquel Jones give her a shoulder, and it didn't get nearly as much media coverage as this situation has. I know Kennedy said that she didn't regret anything she did versus the Fever. And you got some folks giving her that "who are you" treatment. But you got to think, man, this Chicago Sky team seems tight-knit, so they're going to stick together. They feel like it's them versus everybody, it's them versus the media. That's just the nature. Now, when it comes to Angel Reese, her and Caitlin Clark, and some people like to downplay it, have a legitimate rivalry. We know the past 2 years in the NCAA tournament, LSU Iowa, some of the most watched games. She has a chip on her shoulder because she feels like she hasn't received enough credit for pushing the game of women's basketball. And Angel's been in the limelight the past 2-3 years, and we know that she's going to speak her mind. And when it comes to rivals, I thought that's what fans loved about sports. Magic versus Bird, MJ versus the Bad Boy Pistons, Washington versus Dallas, the Ravens versus the Steelers, LeBron and the Cavs versus the Warriors. I love Caitlin Clark's game and what she's brought to the W. I love Angel Reese's style of play and her personality and what she brings to the W as well. I just think that some of the discourse regarding the incident that took place on Saturday was blown out of proportion and was just way too toxic for my liking.